Hey, it's Oska from the Frontrunner Colombo.
And Tom from the Frontrunner Colombo.
And Anna from the Frontrunner Colombo.
There's a lot of spaces between the ands in our names. Are we that brain dead? I know.
It is Friday.
Every week we have this intention that it's like a Wednesday 10 a.m. recording.
Yeah.
How late are we this week? 78 hours?
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's not bad for me. I'm always...
But hey, the listeners won't know, so...
Well, they will now. We just told them.
It's definitely not 78 hours.
I don't know. Wednesday morning, 24 hours. Okay, fine. It's 48.
48.
Yeah, ish. No, I'm more like 54.
No, 48 plus about 3. So it's 51.
Yeah, well, it's close.
it's all right. It's been a busy week.
It has been a busy week. Heaps of
Extremely
issues.
busy week.
Anyway, and you're listening to Run Spesh, our weekly running specialty podcast, where we talk about the human locomotive movement, we call running, and all of the stuff that happens in the grey matter between our ears, which is funny because you can't see our ears if you're watching right now because you've got your headphones on. So maybe there's nothing between our ears. There's something between Tom's ears, and there's different...
Who says we have ears?
Okay.
Anatomy.
Some people don't have ears, Tom. You're going to discriminate?
Tom's OnlyFans account definitely says he has ears. So it's in his bio pic.
Might need to start one, actually.
An OnlyFans account.
just to fund all the travel that I have planned.
Okay. And are you going to pick a body part or just the full kit and caboodle? Start with feet pics and see how it goes?
Well, there honestly has to be nothing on there. Just the fact that you've got OnlyFans might intrigue some people.
Just your enthusiasm for the page.
Yeah.
I reckon you could read kids' storybooks.
No, that's taking it too far.
Not on the OnlyFans account, but on a kid's storybook account. You can make them for Spotify.
I mean, I'd probably put people to sleep with the monotone.
That's the point.
Yeah.
I do listen to a podcast which is called I Can't Sleep. I put it on when I'm going to bed. And it's just this guy who's like, literally talks like, probably like Thomas, like, hello everyone, welcome back to this.
Cop and
Sleep of
strays, and
Sam,
we're not even
whatever.
5 minutes
And
into
then
this
he just
podcast.
reads out Wikipedia pages of of like random things. So the other day I was it was about like the history of fences. And it puts you right to sleep.
Like fences and the things that we have in our houses, or fences like fencing?
Like the fences at your house.
Jesus. Why do you think they created them? Just
Must have been extremely tired, Anna, to be listening to that.
or not tight enough?
I just put it on and like I'll maybe remember the first 30 seconds of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it works, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you what else works well is Tom's body right now because he's the only one of us that's in whole. Well, not that he said anything this week, but training this week, Tommy, you're going to ride a bike.
I am going to ride a bike to Akaroa tomorrow.
And the rest?
That's the race, which is always honestly, it's kind of like Queenstown, right? Scenic as course, blah, blah, blah. Don't get to enjoy the views because you're just in the box from the get-go pretty much.
Can we also just talk about how, because Maya said to Tom, oh, what race are you doing this weekend? And Tom's like, the race. And she's like, ha ha. Like,
I was like, no,
no,
it's called
La
Le Race.
And she's like, oh, yeah.
That's a good point. So what is it?
Well, it's been going on for quite a while now. Just a fairly traditional Christchurch or New Zealand bike race from the centre of town over to Akaroa. A few gnarly hills in there, a few fun descents. Yeah, but...
So it's like 90K?
100. Yeah.
100. So you go up, dives past, turn right at the sign of the Kiwi and go down towards the Bastard?
Go down the bastard. Yep.
Oh.
So it's called La Race because there historically was quite a French population in Akaroa.
Yeah.
Seems like racially profiling to me, but...
Do you guys want to know something cool?
Okay.
What?
Try me.
Try it. Back in the day when I was in the Christchurch
French
Junior
Revolution.
Symphony Orchestra. Yep. We used to play at the finish line of the race.
There you go.
They still do it.
Yeah, still do it. Yep.
So we're going to close
That
the
was
shop
me.
tomorrow and go over?
Yep.
We can... I can't play any instruments. I can play the triangle.
Yeah.
I don't think that you've got the patience to count the beats and then hit it
I've
at the
got
right time.
autism just to work at it. Or the Tourette's. Surely that's a Tourette's instrument. Anyway, so how many people do the race?
About 500 this year.
Amazing.
600.
Yeah.
They normally get 900 to 1,000, but because of unknown reasons and traffic management, it's becoming a bit hard to hold now. So there's
So is there limitations on it?
rumor
or-
has it this might be the last one, But that
Was there limitations on how many people they were allowed? Nah. It's interesting because I saw Ben Robertson for a massage yesterday, and he was talking about the timing of it probably doesn't fit into the calendar for bike racing anymore. Like, he was saying maybe earlier would be better when the proteins are still here for Tour Down Under.
Yeah, I mean it's that, and then obviously like prices have to go up to account for traffic management, and obviously traffic management is putting more and more restrictions in place every year to abide by, which is just no fun for the
organisers,
event managers.
Do they do it as a rolling closure, or are the roads just open?
Rolling closure, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, probably the most brutal start to a bike race you can do in New Zealand, for sure. Straight up Dyers is where it basically starts. So you're neutral all the way down Colombo Street, and then you hit the roundabout, and it's game on from there.
Are you bunny hopping that roundabout?
Nah.
Some sick skids?
Nah. There's just a mad dash into the corner. So, yeah, it's no fun because you don't really get much of a warm-up into it. You know, you're spinning 5 or 10 minutes easily, and then it's just full gas. So this year there's a few good climbers as well, which is going to make it really hard for a lot of people to hang on. And pretty much if you can't hang on to the Kiwi, that's game over if you want a podium or whatever, which I'm not going to be anywhere near the podium, but we just like to do it to change switch up training, get the race juices flowing. It's a bit of fun. It's also kind of dangerous, so that's fun also.
Is this the race last year you broke your bike seat and had to sit on the pole for 3
hours? I still had the seat, but it was just about 2 centimeters too low, which was no fun. Knees were not happy afterwards.
That's when your knee shit the bed.
Yep. So, touch wood. We're all in one piece this year.
As a triathlete, is it harder to compete in a bike race or a running race?
Bike race for sure. 100%. Well, I guess for me it's because I've come from running. It's easier for me to do running. But I still genuinely think road racing on the bike is probably the hardest sport I've ever done, and anyone would ever do. It's just a whole different all game.
To get in the right spot too, you're taking a lot more risks than in a running race or something.
There's the danger factor which you don't have in running, of falling off the bike and dying. The technical aspect of it, which you don't. You don't have to worry about in running at all. There's no handling issues. You got to learn how to handle a bike, where to be, bumping shoulders with people. Nutrition, I would say, is arguably more important as well in cycling. And then I think it's really the only sport where you have to incorporate all 3 energy sources in one event. Half marathon, you're sitting at threshold basically, or you're trying to at least. Marathon, you maybe threshold tempo. This is VO2, it's threshold, it's tempo, it's all of the above, and you're just trying not to blow to pieces basically.
Is it hard mentally when you climb and you know that you got 8 to 11 minutes in that VO2 zone, and then you're like, fuck, okay, I'm going to get to this thing, and then I got to turn my brain off to try and recover and then go again. Whereas in a running race, you do that and you're like, oh, fuck now.
Yeah. It's a really weird sport in that sense because the first part of the race tomorrow is basically all out for, that first steep bit, and then you get a little reprieve on the flat, but it's only 10 seconds, and then you're all out again up that next climb, and then you get a little reprieve again, and then you're all out. So it's just flushing lactic as best you can. But if you're not a predominantly strong climber, you'll be in the red zone for probably about 15 to 20 minutes right at the start, and then it's weird because it's everyone says, it backs off a bit along the summit road out to the buses, but you're still going up and down hills and you're still full gas.
People forget when you turn right at the sign of the Kiwi, there's still another 1,800 metres of up, and it's steeper than Dyers Pass itself.
Yeah.
We
That's
used
the worst bit.
We used to do hill reps up there, and you were if you did 4 by 8 minutes, you finished at Worsley's. You were fucked.
That's just a whole different world of hurt. In running, you kind of, your legs don't really, well, I don't know, for me at least, my legs don't really burn and give out. You know, you just overall fatigue accumulates and eventually you'll start slowing down. It's normally like a breathing aerobic thing with running as well, like your chest and your stomach start burning. With cycling, it's like everything. And it's weird because it's like people don't think you use your arms, but especially in a race where you're climbing, you do use them quite a lot to try to generate power. But yeah, it's just like your throat's on fire from the lactic, your legs are just feeling like lead weights, trying to spin up a hill, and then you've got to switch on the downhill as well. You can't turn off because if you don't time the corner right, or you're on the brakes too late or too early, you're off the edge of a cliff.
Bro, you're selling it to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing as well. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, this is a very
It's a no from me.
domestic level race as well. So those guys that are doing it in the tour and on pro contracts, I don't think other people realize how gnarly that sport is, and the amount of training that goes into that, because you're not impacting as much. Like those guys are doing 35 hours a week on the
Which
saddle.
for them is like 1,100 kilometers, 1,200 kilometers of cycling.
And it's just a lot of hours.
It's like
and then-
starting in Bluff one week and just making your way to Picton and then sleeping and then turning around and coming back and just doing that for the whole training block.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but I think it's a great
That's crazy.
I really enjoy switching up the racing, and like it's a different mentality as well that you have to put yourself in, and then you know, like if you can hurt for that amount of time, like it's going to be 2.5, 3 hours, going and running a 5K or a 10K mentally is so much easier, because you only have to focus for that amount of time, and it does help the running as well. Like aerobically, and your legs do build that resilience because you are hammering them for a longer period of time. But yeah, we'll ride our way into Akaroa, and then probably bike a little bit of the way home just to flush the legs out, and then
Nice.
I mean it's going to be fun. We start at 8, so if people are around in Christchurch and want to see some
500 sardines dressed in lycra cruise up.
the best place honestly to be, I think, is the that little park on the right hand side, like a few corners up Dyers. You know, when there's
by
like
the
that
church.
Yeah, and there's that
Church.
street that you can go like straight through onto Hackthorn. Because by then, crazy enough, you're only not even a K into the race, but the race will be split up. And everyone will be either swinging off the back or looking really composed and easy at the front. So, yeah, and then you can actually get away through that street and back onto Hackthorn and resume your day. I think a lot of people try to get up to the Kiwi, and then obviously the road closures, you have to wait around there for ages. You can't really go down the other side to Gibbies as well because that's close as we go down that way. So, yeah, it should be fun. Hoping this year the weather is a bit nicer because last year there was that crazy fog.
That's right.
And it just
sits in the hills.
in the bastard. And going down that hill with about 10 meters of visibility is not very fun. Especially, we had bike checks this morning, and one of the guys said that they were supposed to sweep the road with all the slips they had recently, and apparently hasn't been done yet. So
Classic.
it was supposed to be done yesterday. So hopefully they've got up there today and swept that.
Well, as we found out in the park last Saturday morning, it's acorn season.
Yeah.
I was paying no attention.
Nah. So there's shit everywhere, which just, throws another spanner in the works. But I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. I get excited about races like this and just trying to throw yourself in the mix. And like, to me, there's not really ever any pressure, but just having races at home is fun. Going to sleep in your own bed and waking up, ripping it, and then hanging out with mates afterwards, always a good time. So, yeah, that's pretty much the extent of that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Anna, you were in Devonport
Yeah, I was.
last week with his dog and Saxon
Yep.
and the other crew.
Another crew, yeah.
Cool that Henry's coach got to go over.
Yeah, definitely. So,
and be there.
so she was It was also, it was the Devonport Triathlon, which has been going on for like 40 years. And for at least the past 5 years, I think it's been possibly even longer, but I wasn't across it, has been the Oceania standard distance champs for the elite and under 23. And they usually have the junior race there too. This year it was the Oceania junior champs. And they also have like a world para series race like earlier in the week, which is cool. So yeah, I headed over there last Wednesday. I was there to help Tess, who's Henry's coach, look after her wee boy Kai. So that was a different experience of race week. So yeah, I was staying with her at the hotel, and then Henry was at an Airbnb with a couple of mates. But yeah,
filming some triathlon trouble.
Feeling some triathlon trouble content. Good stuff as per. So yeah, there were like 25 Kiwis over there racing, a lot of them juniors because it was the qualification race for junior world champs, or like part of the selection. And yeah, Devonport is an interesting place. You search up things to do in Devonport, and the number one thing is to watch the ferry leave. And
Oh my god! Wow.
It sounds like Mapua.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
With worse weather.
It's Oamaru. It's like the Oamaru of
Australia.
Really? Probably. Mm. There's a nice beach though where the race was, but because like this main thing's the ferry, you're kind of like the main part of Devonport's by the like port kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's like quite industrial and
Gotcha.
Yeah, interesting vibes. But anyways.
How'd the boys go?
They did well. Saxon.
Who was worried he had a femoral stress fracture or something fucking 3 days before.
Yeah,
is he a hypochondriac or just broken?
No, I don't know. He went for a run and he cramped up or
he like felt something. He like
calf.
did a stride or something and pulled like something in his calf. And so like when we went out for dinner, all of us that night for Phoebe Carter's birthday actually, he was like wearing the double compression socks and we're like, oh no.
Yeah.
But no, he had so the swim was really rough. I don't know if you guys have seen the video that the boys posted, but 2 Aussie athletes, they ended up getting penalties for this, but they ran into the water, but instead of going straight to the buoy like you're kind of supposed to do, because there's like rules where you have to move forward a certain amount before you go to the side, they went straight to the side, nearly took out one of the like surf life-saving kayaks, nearly took out some kids who were playing on the beach. Yeah, because where the buoy was, it kind of looked like you could go to the side and then get closer that way. So they did that. And then, so from the get-go, the swim was carnage. And like Saxon and Henry and a few of the other boys said it was probably one of the hardest swims they've ever done. So it was quite split up from there. Saxon had a good swim. Henry had a swim he was not happy with at all, to be honest. So Saxon was in the front bike group, and then Henry and Gus were in like a bike group. I think there were 3 bike groups. So it was quite split up. And they were working with a couple of the Aussie boys to stay in the race. So they did a really good job to do that, to be honest, because Devonport, it's pretty notorious for this super steep climb in the middle, which people lose their chains on. They you can just get completely dropped up that hill.
It's like a 40-second burner.
Yeah.
And they go up at 8 times or something.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Sounds like Gun Road for the old Challenge Wanaka course.
Mm.
Yeah. So anyways, they had a good bike. And then Henry he felt a bit shit after the swim, but he kind of worked his way into the race again, which is the good thing about racing for 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can have a bad first half and like kind of like get into the right mentality. So that's kind of what happened for him. And then he ended up having a really good run and running into 9th place overall, and he was the 4th under 23. But yeah, he was happy with the result, but also a bit disappointed with his swim, which I guess is the reality of racing, that not everything.
And like for triathlon, like it's even hard just to get running right for a running race. You know,
Yeah.
like the amount of times I've, you race and compete and you go, I could count on one hand the times I felt like you've nailed one discipline. Whereas you line up for a triathlon and you're hoping like shit, you've nailed 3 of them, and in sequence,
Yeah.
But I can see how, I guess you can't really control what the chop's doing.
Yeah.
And does Devonport face south, or does it face Aussie?
I don't know.
Because you're getting smacked by the southerly. So it'd be like swimming off the bluff.
It's a lot of current.
A lot of current.
Drifted mad. In
Cold
this one.
water too.
Yeah.
Colder than Napier.
Yeah.
But yeah, like pretty rough. But then Saxon had a good race. He got 5th overall. He managed to hold it together in the run. Because I know he was feeling a bit worried about that, but
Sometimes in those situations, adrenaline just takes over.
Yeah.
And you just worry about what'll happen later.
Yeah.
And it happens later.
Yeah, it's weird. You don't really. Sometimes you don't notice it so much in the actual moment, but afterwards you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. I've torn my.
He did see someone and they reckoned it was a neural thing in his back. So the whole, I think it was his whole left side just turned off basically, which can happen when something's a little bit out. But I think he's been training this week, so
he's fine.
Seems to be fine. Yeah.
Though both of them and the others like Gus and have all had great results in the last like sort of 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. So start of a long season.
Yeah.
Like it will be finishing up in November this year.
It's amazing how they're going to manage their energy and manage kind of their own expectations. Like you don't want to carry the baggage from the first one into the second one, and like for Henry, doesn't want to be thinking about the swim. Like you don't want to put too much emphasis on that.
Yeah, exactly.
You obviously don't want to get hurt on day one either. How about you running?
Sorry, 1 second. My running is going okay.
So you've had a hip.
I've had my hip thing since January, and the physio is really happy with how it's progressing, and I've been going to the gym and stuff like that. And I'm like back running 4 times a week now.
Nice, okay.
Like I'm building it up. Now I'm just kind of building up each of those runs slowly. So, kind of like gotten up to about 40 minutes of jogging again. So before I can add back any intensity, Andy wants me to get to be doing 2 days in a row of 45 minutes of jogging pain-free. So got a wee while to go.
25 years later.
Yeah, literally. So it's been a long process.
I haven't run pain-free 2 days in a row for 20 years. So good luck.
Good luck. Yeah.
Good luck.
The hard feat to master.
Nice. Well, that's good. That's good to get back running in 4 days a week is good because, you couldn't even really do 20 minutes.
Yeah,
1 day a
exactly.
week.
So it's like...
It does come back pretty fast and you think it's
yeah.
never going to end it. Nice.
Oska did think it was going to end though this week.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like a roller coaster, man.
What was it? 30 minutes or 45-minute tempo?
45-minute tempo. Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's funny when you kind of put your eggs in one basket and you have a go and you do okay, and then you kind of reflect on that and you still think you did okay, but maybe a little bit flat. And then I really have noticed, and I'm not that old, but I am getting older. The older I get, the harder it is to bounce back from the really long, hard efforts in terms of racing. Like, 10 years ago, I could run a marathon and I could work out 10 days later and feel good, like feel fine. But this is now nearly 4 weeks now. So 3.5 weeks when I tempoed with Andy, we tempoed 10 or 15 seconds slower per kilometre than I was pre-race. But I got to get the engine kick started again. So I'm trying to manage expectation and load and energy. I was kind of talking about it with John, the chiropractor, when I was getting my pelvis put back into place, which was way skew. He's like, mate,
what's going on here?
What is going on here? You've been wearing shoes 3 centimeters higher on the right side or something. And just, I think that as you begin to put training load back in again, like your hormones have to start balancing back out, sleeping has to come back on board, the eating has to catch up because you probably have been eating a little bit less just because you haven't been as hungry, haven't been training as hard. So you're trying to get the chemicals right, get the mind right, get the energy right, and then also expectation at home, like when you have a break, you're there way more, and you like being there way more because I've been a dad and a husband.
Yeah.
And then so just getting the expectation back of like, no, this is my training time, and trying to not feel too selfish when you start reintroducing that stuff and find other time in the week to do the things that we like doing as a family. So all those things are just, the older I've got, the harder it is to start again every time, which is, where we've tried to include some fun this week in the gym. Toddy and I had a rugby ball. He was kicking that at me at fucking 50k an hour, trying to catch it. It only got through the slips once every set. So just trying to find some fun and some joy in the bits and pieces. Going to work out with the young fellas tomorrow morning down at Tai Tap Road. They've got a 45-minute tempo, so I'll jump in there with Will and Con. And
Nice.
just trying to, I guess, as I get started again, like try and find company and be social. And then when I kind of get to that week 3 or 4 and everything's settled down, I'm feeling good about it again. I don't mind sort of that kind of time on my own. But getting started is tricky. My right glute and hamstring, like the nerve, like I've got a referral for a sports doc at MRI and just try and get a handle on like if there's what the damage is. Like after Osaka, it was obviously burning quite bad. It was probably like 8 out of 10 on the pain scale, which is a lot for me. Like I can handle quite a lot of discomfort. So, and it just hasn't been right since. It was kind of a bit sore 4 weeks out from the race, and we just managed me the best we could. And now I kind of thought it had settled down when I had a bit of a break, but it's come straight back. So John's had a crack at getting that sacral square and that lower thoracic. He's trying to get me balanced, but I have a funny feeling, bit of sciatica, bit of nerve compression. That's maybe resulted in a funny change of gait and a bit of high hamstring tendinopathy. But
somewhere along the chain.
What do they do to help it?
That's a good question.
You don't know?
There's not a lot you can do. Like the nerve itself, like you can do a bit of flossing. You can kind of release the muscles in and around it. You can do gender exercise. Like I do find the pull really useful, putting the flippers on, just getting a nice stretch. In terms of like running load, it's kind of self-managing and being realistic with how sore you get and what's pissing it off. I'm trying to make good footwear choices, trying to make good surface choices, trying to get enough load in there where if it is a bit of tendon, you're loading it enough to try and get some, but not so much that it's pissing the nerve off. It's a tricky, there's obviously solutions. I probably prefer the less invasive ones, particularly in and around nerves, because you're thinking about what life looks like in 10 years' time. It's not the first time I've had problems with nerves before, so that's okay. So I'm looking forward to getting back into some structures and getting my life a little bit organised, because fucking just Uber Eats and 11 p.m. bedtimes, and that's no good. I need dedicated, motivated structure, otherwise I'm fucking completely off the rail, as Maya will tell you, because I was sending emails at 10:38 the other night. I was just fucking up, I don't get tired. It's like I'm 3 sets of AAA batteries, and if I'm not using them all in the day, I just...
That's one thing I've come to realise with triathlon training, and because there's so many hours involved, you're always just at one level of energy.
Yeah.
And like in terms of output and fatigue and whatnot, you're just in kind of a constant state of fatigue. So it's quite funny how like when I was just running track and you're so aware of your energy levels going into a workout or into a long run or something like that. Now it's just like, just is what it is. Like I'm going to be tired. There's no beating around the bush. You're going to go into it with some level of fatigue, and I think, it's a weird one, because it kind of is easier on the mind in the sense that I know how I'm going to feel. I'm not going to feel great, but if you can get through a certain workout or a certain run or something like that, just doing what you're doing, it's quite nice to just switch off and let it glide on in. But anyway, things that were happening this week.
There was people gliding into Rafiti Domain on Sunday.
Yeah, there was.
All the way
City
from
to
the
surf.
city to surf.
Yeah.
That was, so talking to Steve, who's heads up the organisation team there. They had their biggest ever Christchurch City2Surf over the weekend, so just under 11,000 people. A few changes for them this year. Obviously, entry price goes up, but timing chips are on offer. So traditionally, it has not been a timed event. It's been classified as a fun run where you just have a bid with a number on. Doesn't matter what the number is. But I think there was enough people calling for wanting a time. So entry fee goes up because there's timing chips and all the bibs. FreshChoice did a cool thing.
Yeah,
Well,
the old grocery shopping.
The old grocery shopping. So you kind of went through a checkpoint.
Yeah.
And then at the finish line, you got to collect the grocery that you wanted, which is a little bit weird. But fuck, I'm here for it.
They do it in a trail run, don't they?
Yes.
Well, is it Tarawera or?
No,
That's Kepler.
Yeah.
They literally have
Yeah.
like a whole grocery aisle of like for the aid station.
That's cool.
Which is pretty sick. And in a trail race, it makes sort of sense.
Yeah.
And City2Surf's in the perfect place for people looking to run Christchurch Marathon or the half in terms of like getting a kind of an odd distance, head out. There's not too much time pressure. It's probably about effort for those people in the Christchurch Marathon build. You're just starting to come out of the dog days of marathon training, which is sort of that, 8 to 4, 3 weeks out.
I think it's perfect timing and like perfect distance as well. Just have one like good hit out.
Yeah, so sort of 30 to 50 minutes, depending on your ability for the 12K.
Yep.
Just nice to be around people, nice to have a start line you want to get to, work through your kind of processes, like race day processes, which is always important to practice. And then it's just a shame that the surface is still not amazing for the back half. Like, I guess with traffic management now, it used to run on the north side of Anzac Drive, down the road there, New Brighton Road, but now they've kind of put it on the side where there's no cars, and it's just beat to shit. So you get a really good 8.5K and then a pretty average 4K.
Yeah, right.
But hopefully the council and the roading companies keep working towards trying to get both sides of that, better, because probably just does take away from the event a wee bit.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got 11,000 people rolling. Like, that's a lot of people to
It's a hell of a lot of people.
A to B. But we had a fun night, Anna, on... fun is probably not the word I'd use.
Insightful.
Insightful, probably not a word I'd use.
And out of the ordinary.
And out of the
so
ordinary.
we could say extraordinary.
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary, yeah.
Brooks put on an allied health evening at the Blue Smoke room.
Blue Smoke.
Yeah.
Which is connected to Castles at the Tannery.
Tannery looks nice.
Yeah.
It's a well put together space.
For people who aren't from Christchurch, it used to be a train station.
Yeah.
And they've completely converted it to kind of like a boutique shopping mall kind of thing. And there is, So
It's always so quiet though. I don't know how those guys make any money, but anyway.
it's pretty busy when you go on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll take it
Which
back.
is probably when you're not going.
I'm probably not going there. I'm not really going at all, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Brooks put this thing on. They invited all the physiotherapists and podiatrists who wanted to come, and a few of the retail partners, including ourselves and Shoe Clinic and Athlete's Foot. And Dan was all the way over from Melbourne. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He knows a lot about his shoes.
Yeah.
And so he's the kind of lead tech guy for Australasia.
Yeah.
Podiatry background. So we just kind of chatted over Glycerin 23, Ghost Trail,
Glycerin Flex.
Glycerin Flex, which I wasn't going to talk about it, but since you mentioned it.
Uh-oh.
Do you know...
Open a can of worms.
The worm is open. Do you know not every idea is a good idea? That's what I'll say.
You thought it was a good idea.
I thought it was a good idea, and I thought about it really hard, and some things deserve to be left in the past. There's a reason Nike don't sell the Nike Free anymore.
Yeah.
And we moved on.
When something dies and doesn't come back to
Yeah.
life, that's kind of a telltale sign that it's
Dinosaurs.
probably dead.
Dinosaurs,
Yeah.
large animals, can't feed themselves, not enough food, don't survive. And so the Glycerin Flex is a real interesting... And
What was the meteor that took out the Nike Free Run? The Vaporfly?
Adidas Boost. Yeah, literally. PU.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later too. But I think the idea is okay. I don't mind it. I think that for version 1, it's fair. For the hard part is sometimes when someone has a brief of what they want to create and they kind of get excited about it. You know how quickly when we have ideas in the shop, they escalate from 0 to 150 real fucking fast. And I think someone's had this idea of we should make a shoe that helps promote foot flexibility and function and build strength. And then that's just gone from there to there at a million miles an hour. And no one's
Hang on.
backstopped and been what is the use case? Who
Pump
is
the
it
brakes,
for?
yeah.
What materials? And they kind of test some stuff, but I don't know have they tested on the use case. And I think they got a little confused between, for me, and you guys can argue with me if you want, the glycerin is safety.
It's
It's super reliable,
Yeah.
unfun. There's
cushion.
and it's almost like firm cushion.
Yeah.
Like it's, and they can talk about big cells. Anna's got it on. I mean, it's comfy. They're like big cells, little cells, and like whatever, chemical science. But
Beep boop.
yeah, it's all a bunch of bullshit, and no one's ever hitting the shoe in a way that's going to activate most of that anyway. But I feel like the DNA tuned material isn't the material they should put in that. Like for me, it probably sat in the Hyperion range using some sort of DNA gold material, because the people that want to use it as your 100, 200, 400 meter sprinters, your heped athletes, your middle distance athletes, and your high performance athletes looking to recover from injury and rebuild strength in the foot. Probably not the 35-year-old female who's enjoyed a Brooks Glycerin, like for what the Brooks Glycerin is.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think, well, for starters, there's too much foam in it. Like, they need to lower it to the ground and lean into what the shoe is actually trying to do, which is somewhat of a barefoot feel and approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that the foam isn't helping its case at all. Like, if you want that shoe to be exciting and something fresh and new, you need to change it from what you've already got for starters. And I think make it feel significantly different. Because what they've got at the moment is they've just cut up a glycerin and cut shapes into the sole. It's basically what it is. Like, we've already got this model here. Let's just take out this piece here, this piece here, this piece here, change it completely. Like, don't have it in the same kind of family, because
They also said, like, I just remember this now, but they said in the thing that it was for someone who wasn't coming back from an injury or dealing with any pathologies currently, which I don't know. I just thought that was
I think it's backwards.
Yeah, sorry.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, to say that is weird.
Yeah.
Because for me, it is someone who wants to rebuild the strength.
Yeah. That's what my thought.
Behavior.
Yeah. And like, if you had a pathology, like someone who's running perfectly, probably isn't like, oh, I need to like challenge myself in a different way. Yeah.
It's like a physio prescription tool to challenge foot behavior to get strength in small amounts and small doses on softer surfaces. So lower the ground, lower the stack height, soften the foam, make it a bit more kind of energetic and bouncy because you have less of it.
Yeah, yeah.
The last part of it that I struggled with after I dropped you home and I was thinking about it on the car ride home was like, it's too engineered. Like, it's too specific.
Yeah.
Because like foot behavior is one thing in a like closed chain. You know, you can put a foot on the ground and load it and it will make the behavior pattern.
Yeah.
But you're not changing the terrain. You're not changing the vert. You're not changing things on the ground like acorns and rocks and stones. Yeah. And you also, the fatigue factor further up the chain.
Yeah.
And so just have the subtalar cut out of it is too specific, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was a bit like, not to shit on it, but I'm going to shit on it. I think it sucks. I wanted to do better. Tom's like, oh God, we're going to get cancelled for that. But I really enjoyed the orange juice.
Yeah, it was good orange. And not going to lie, that Karajo chicken.
The karachi chicken and what was the wee rice balls? What do you call those?
Arancini.
No, none of those. Was that worse or better than the Glycerin Flex?
Worse, it was so stodgy.
Jamie's going to ring me in about 3 hours just fucking fuming.
Why are you flaming it?
I flamed it to Dan's face. He was all right. He got it. Anyway.
No, but do you know what? Respect to Brooks for trying to do something different.
I agree.
You know, it is nice to see someone like, not like, okay, let's make this shoe, well, let's make this shoe 10 millimeters. Okay, let's, whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, if anyone wants to come and try it on the shop, we've got it.
And buy it, please. You really sold it there, Oska.
It'll be on the way back. And 3 peaks this weekend down in Dunedin. We had our local on-ramp take out first place.
Logan Griffin.
Mr. Logan Griffin. He's in a good season.
Shit, yeah. He's killing it.
What people don't know is he was an ex-pro cyclist.
Yeah. Got an engine on him.
Yeah, he's got a massive engine on him, but the problem with cyclists is they're just weak joints. So he had to learn to load himself.
Yep. Seems to have learnt pretty well because he handled 56 Ks through the mountains, which is so funny. I was talking about it last night. How is that called short course trail racing?
Because it depends what long course is.
100K.
Yeah.
Which is an ultra.
So it's 56K
But then
middle
what's it
course?
called? Yeah, I feel like it'll be middle.
No, they
what
don't have
Maya,
anything short. Like their
I
stuff
thought
is
that what
a
Maya
classic.
would do.
Well, that's
Would
called
be
the
short
classic.
course.
That's called the classic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I missed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So here's our short course national champion.
How much vert's in that 3 peaks?
It was like 2.6, I think, or 3,000 maybe.
3 peaks.
And Frances Redmond won the women's race. I think she has bought shoes with us before as well.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah.
Oh, no. See, this is what happens when you do a live podcast. You know, organise. You just don't have the information. Now I'm in a ski field thing. Shit, skiing is expensive.
Oh my god, the super early bird pass was for adult. 3 peaks pass was like just under $1,000.
No, well, yeah, so $1,300 early bird for 3 peak pass prices.
Oh yeah, that was super early bird. So now early bird is $1,300. So if you get it in the season, it'll be like 16.
And we found out that World Indoors is this weekend.
Yep.
Happening in Poland. My first World Champs supposed to be in Poland until Cindy shut the country down 3 days before. Thanks, Auntie Cindy. Appreciate
It's okay.
it. Appreciate it, babes.
I don't know that Henry loved Poland when he was there. So.
No, but I would love the race.
Yeah. We all love a race and we all love New Zealand singlet. And there's 14?
Yeah, full team.
14 or 14? I said 14.
14, which is a full team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Heading to Poland, or actually are already in Poland.
If not, they're gonna.
Yeah, they might be coming up a bit fine. Starts tomorrow. And I believe Tian Welton is the first athlete up on the cards in the 60-metre heats.
Imagine going all the way to Poland to run 60 metres inside.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, he's actually run 6.5 this season outdoors with a slight prevailing wind, but it was legal, I believe. And a 6.55 should get him through at least to the semis, and maybe even a final, which would be pretty cool.
Do the sprinters prefer to be indoors?
Yes.
So like for the warmth factor?
Warmth and no conditions. Like,
Yeah, okay.
they don't have to worry about wind, which is obviously it plays a bigger role than it would in a distance event.
Gotcha.
And your overall like result. For 60 meters though, it's a bit weird. Like, it all comes down to reaction time. If you get a slow reaction time, it's game over.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That'd be at the finish line. I'll be like, oh.
Yeah.
We're
Oh
going.
shit, that was the gun.
This is a nice cupcake.
Yeah.
But I must say, cool to see James Harding and Thomas Cowan too. So we have 2 800-meter guys racing, both in the NCAA right now, which is a first for a while. Like, I know Preston ran one World Indoors.
Yep.
James
Preston, that is for non-purists.
Yeah. And he ran 1:45 last week in Aussie, coming home third in the Adelaide Track Classic, which shows he's back in shape. He's had a few illnesses, I think. They've been holding him back, so he didn't get to put his hand up for this one. But yeah, James and Tom are on fire right now, both running 1:46 indoors, which is the New Zealand indoor record. So they shared it, I think, for a bit, or like swapped around. And then we've got Lex in the 400, who's never run a 400 indoors. So that'll be real interesting, because that is probably the most physical distance you can do indoors with the cutting in and the short banks and
and so just
small lanes.
Just before you go on there, I had some inside knowledge from Ben Ruth. We missed a couple of bits last week. So he said top nationals moments, world's second best pole vault for 2026 in Eliza, so she's back.
Mm-hmm.
The fastest ever 400 meter run in New Zealand by a Kiwi man, so that'll be Lex.
Yeah.
3 men over 20 meters in the shot put. So that's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hammer, Toby making the comeback in the 5K, which we talked about. Twyford, too much power, so Rosa. And then...
That's right. We should just get old Ben Ruth to make our podcast.
Yeah, we'll just get him to fill it in. And then Cooper making a statement in the under 20, 500 metres.
Yeah, that was cool.
But yeah, definitely I think Eliza, like I was obviously in Tokyo when she had to bow out of the semi-finals, and that was pretty heartbreaking because she was so close to... like making in a finals comeback.
She's had probably one of the toughest international careers you could probably look at, like multiple injuries and
you have that
early,
early success, and like New Zealand's just they kind of latch on, don't they? And you get all that early success. She does amazing, medals, and then an Achilles that just nags and nags and nags. But yeah, to have Lex run the fastest ever 400 meters by a Kiwi on Kiwi Soars. Pretty amazing, and not in ideal conditions.
No,
Like,
sub
far from-
sub 46 is rapid.
Yeah, that's my 300 meter time. Fucking literally.
Yeah. He's flying.
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Oh,
I love that.
So two men in the 800, 2 women in the 800, Alison Andrews-Paul and Bo Ritchie, who's been tearing it up at Penn State and NCAA. And then Annalise Kalma. Sorry if I've pronounced that wrong. She's in the 400, so that's cool. Don't think we've had a 400 meter runner go to World Indoors before.
Not that I can remember.
Tapanisa Javier, who also was a St. Andrews student in the shot put. So this is cool to see a lot of the NCAA athletes making their international debut, something that probably wouldn't really happen in the past or hasn't happened in the past.
And is that because the schools won't release them for...
No, I think it was Athletics New Zealand just not taking as many people. Like, I'm not sure what the qualifying times were and how many people hit the times, but I think the World Athletics are using indoors as like a stepping stone to outdoors more so now, so they are like a bit more lenient on that side of things. But yeah, I mean, I think standouts will be Beamish going up against Kerr and Hocker in the 3K. That'll be a hell of a race. And there's bound to be some Africans in there as well. And then Mondo probably going to get another world record, another 100K paycheck. Just, thanks, mate. See you later. Jet back to Sweden or wherever he lives.
I can't comprehend falling from 6.3 meters.
It's a big drop.
I haven't thought about that before.
Like and it's not like you can see because
No,
you jump backwards. So he's just like, fuck, I hope I hit the mat.
Yeah.
It sounds like one of those falling
Do you
dream
think
nightmares.
it hurts at all?
I'd say so. I don't know. I
Landing?
guess,
Nah, it's big bad.
yeah, but still, that's a long way.
Yeah.
Have you stood up on the diving board at the pool and looked at the 5 meters?
Yeah.
They stand up on the 5 meter diving board. That's a fucking long
Have you
way.
dived off it before?
Yeah, not like arms head
You're like-
first. Yeah,
Pin drop.
the pencil drop, man. And I'm not jumping. I'm walking off.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the edge. Sitting on the edge with my eyes closed.
What about how they, like the professional divers where they'll do like a handstand and then like do a backflip? That's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
fucked. There's like gymnasts with those guys hoping.
I'm not so.
Real shame that there's no Sams.
Yeah. Although I kind of rate Bruce like that is
It's the best decision for
very
him.
mature decision to make. Rumor has it he was feeling a little bit flat after, which was already a crazy impressive season and jam packed. Because you got to remember he was doing secondary schools
Yeah, which is
in
December.
November.
Oh no, yeah,
Last
November.
year.
Yeah.
So he's already been going for like 5 odd months, which is a long time to stay at your peak. And obviously, we saw him peak in Boston, which was 2 months ago now. So to hold on to that. But yeah, he's gone and signed himself up for a secondary schools triathlon. Room has it, the man can bike as well.
If you've got a
makes
VO2
sense.
of 1 billion,
Yeah,
lactic
Crazy
lactic
lactic
threshold
threshold.
of 21 millimoles, doesn't fucking matter.
yeah. It would be pretty cool to see how he stacks up against a few people in the secondary schools event. But yeah, obviously Tanner, a bit gutting. He's had to do some rehab on his Achilles and is actually, funny enough, riding a lot as well. He's bought a bike and get some funny snaps from him on the weekly. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like that sport, right? I think Ruth, very smart decision. Shut it down for a bit, refresh, get your mind back into it, and
Because the other thing people won't realise is because he's so young, he doesn't have that base of work.
yeah.
And so sort of when you kind of get into that, early 20s to mid 20-year-old period and you've got miles in your legs, you probably can hang on for a bit longer, but he just doesn't have that sort of, he's working off natural talent and pure speed. So he will need breaks. The other, obviously, admission off that list is our high jumper.
Yeah.
So Hamish is not jumping.
No.
For whatever reason, he might have decided to take a little bit of time off. Maybe he's just concentrating on Commonwealth Games, trying to defend that title.
Yeah, he's over in Aussie at the moment, so
Yeah.
I think he's just, I mean,
Maybe he was just pissed off he didn't get to go on telly because he's watching Zoe Hobson trying to price race. So fuck them, I'm not going.
yeah. Well, I mean, the man's won it all, so like he really has nothing to prove.
Do you reckon that's hard?
I don't know. I don't think so. Knowing Hamish, like he's this uber competitive person, and he just likes to dominate events, which is why he's obviously part of why he's gone so well in the sport and doing all the stuff that he does. Some people just have that mentality, like he goes out there to smash everyone. And I don't think it matters whether it's a Tuesday night meet in Christchurch or Olympics. It's the same mentality for him, and he goes to perform and do his best, because you never know when your last one is going to be and how you can jump on any given day. So I think it's a testament to that, but also I'm pretty sure he's been dealing with a few issues, so it's probably just wrong timing, and it's a lot of travel for an event. Easier to travel to Oz, get some nice weather, and do some competitions over there probably. Some points for outdoors.
Apparently, like, the way you jump for high jump is different in warmer climates too than colder climates.
Yeah.
I was talking to his physio about it in Wanaka.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's easier in the warmer climates, obviously.
Yeah, and like enlist slightly different muscle groups for some reason.
Yeah,
But,
okay. Well, I guess when you're right at the peak of your powers and you're jumping over a door frame,
Yeah.
it will be easier to jump slightly warmer.
Yeah.
Especially, I guess, he might have talked about it on Dom's podcast, just like how his body has changed and the elasticity of it over the last sort of 3 or 4 years, and the demands of those really explosive jumps take on him in a round robin situation, and he just can't back him up the same. So we'll find out soon if we're going to see a sub 210 women's marathon. So we saw the second fastest ever, and our producer has written, including behind a drugged up Ruth Gibb, from 2024, 2 hours 10:51. I think it's time I let it go.
Marathon debut.
I think it's time I let it go. It's the second fastest ever marathon debut.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, eh?
I could
Go on,
say
Tommy.
a
Go on,
lot of
Tommy.
things right now.
That's a big sigh, Tom.
That's a big sigh.
We were talking about it the other day on a run, and it's obviously a super hotly debated topic in our sport and many other sports. And like, obviously being in the sport for a while, and the people that I've talked to being in the sport for a while, you know the demand it has on your body and where limits might be, roughly. One of the boys kind of phrased it, like everyone looks at sport these days and it's innocent until proven guilty, but they rephrased it as guilty until proven innocent, because the stuff that is going on at the top level, and knowing how hard it is to test for substances and how many substances there are, and the 12-hour window that you've got where it's available to be seen on a test is crazy. But it's a weird, it's just kind of,
It's the gap between the 2 or 3 who have run 209, 210, 211, and then everyone else at 216. You're like, holy moly. At least in the men's field, there's
There's
80 have all run under 203, and you're like, okay, whatever.
and Well, the thing is as well, I think it's the relative ease that these ladies are doing it with that kind of throws it off. Like, we know, and this isn't sexist at all to say, but we know the male human genetic is superior to female human genetics over like a half marathon. And when you see guys, professional athletes,
cut that before that.
That's all right.
no, like when you see professional male athletes struggling to break 210, coming across the line, hands and knees, like wiped out, and then you get a female coming in right next to them, turning around, running up the finish line like this, like, come on, look what I've just done. Doesn't add up. It just, I'm sorry, like, to me it's just...
And endorphins aren't like that.
No, and it's like, you've got a dude who's training the same as she is. How are they so different?
Who knows, man? Anyway,
we're all skeptics here, but it's just I think the piece that Maya has written there, it kind of sums it up, right? Like she was only a couple seconds behind someone who just got popped for using drugs. So it's like you kind of have to sit on the edge of your seat and wait, because I think last time I called it perfectly as well. Yeah. We did a podcast, 209. Oh, yeah, she's doped. And then sure enough, 3 months later, she got pinged for doping. It just, I don't know.
So, yeah, it was in Barcelona.
I'm going to get flamed for that.
Tommy's done. He's getting nailed.
No, but, actually, okay, this, okay, you got me real right up here. Okay. But we know the enhanced games, right? Yeah. Do you know what the funniest thing about the enhanced games is going to be?
Right.
They're not going to beat the world records.
Yeah, I'd agree. Because
they're going to be openly on the juice, struggling to beat the so-called clean world records. So what does that tell you? How many of those clean world records are clean? When the guys that are openly encouraged to take drugs can't beat them.
Oh, they might get their cycle wrong. You never know.
Like
doctors.
I don't know, man. They've got all the testing in the world. They're pumping themselves full of it for $1 million prize. They've got every incentive to break that world record. And if you get these guys coming out and not beating them, it's going to look real bad on world athletics and everyone else involved in the so-called clean world. That's what I'm going to say.
Speaking of clean, is the silhouette of this Adidas Hyper Boost Edge. That's pretty clean looking silhouette.
It is. Yeah.
Because we are a running shoe podcast, not a chemical science podcast.
We could be. Well, there is chemical science inside these shoes.
So we've been very fortunate, Tom and I and Maya, been very fortunate to grab a pair of these a couple of weeks ago. And I have so far put 70K into a pair.
Yeah. Wait, we've already talked about this shit.
No, we haven't.
We did in the last podcast.
No, we didn't.
I swear to God we did.
No, we did the On. Hyper.
Oh, we did, but we were in Adidas kit. That's right.
No, we haven't talked about this. This is totally new from Adidas. So, can I have a rant?
Go for it. I just had a massive rant.
I'm going to have a rant. Anna's sitting through the boys ranting today. So, I'm going to have a rant. Can we just stop with the hope that one shoe is going to save your whole running shoe line?
Oh, yeah.
There is no secret to the fact that the brands that have the most success churn out reliable heritage product over and over again. And then they slide in some fun stuff to see how it goes. And then if it doesn't, they pull it out.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we've got like this. There's a bad analogy.
Terrible. I wasn't going to say it. But.
It's a terrible analogy. But so, like, and their advertisers, this is going to save Adidas's running range. Because, like, if we're totally honest, they have two shoes, right? Outside of T-Rex. They have a Pro 4 and an Evo.
Yep.
The rest of it, we could, if no one made any other Adidas running shoes, no one would miss them. Like, so this is like, we've got this amazing new material we've been working on for the last first problem 6 years. It's released too late.
Yeah.
And we think it's going to do all of these things. It's like, it's not. If it were me, and it's not, so whatever, because I'm an egotistical fuckwit, I would have made an Evo SL Max.
Yeah.
With this is nice foam, but the design team has got hold of that and made it too bulky. And they've gone, we want it to look a certain way, and it's not practical. It's a nice material.
Yeah.
So if you use the Evo SL silhouette, maybe you raise the stack height ever so slightly,
widen it slightly,
widen the midfoot ever so slightly, keep the geometry, but maybe add a little bit of shape in through the medial side because you're going to raise it slightly off the ground.
Yeah.
Grab the upper from the Pro 4, which is that woven stretch material, which only stretches lengthways, not sideways. Put that on it.
Yeah.
Fucking bingo. You have a running shoe that already had clout in the world because the Evo SL has been so successful. The only issue with the Evo SL is you put it in super rad, which fucked its credibility. So you're trying to get some of that back.
Yeah.
And so you're going, we're not going to do that. We're not going to put the shoe in the fashion industry. It's now a running shoe because we've got our best in-class people-based midsole material. The most comfortable upper we have. And this light traction rubber is easily the best outsole of any road shoe we've got because it's super light and super tacky. But instead what we got is like a James Harden, Space Jam, Back to the Future, E.T. Phone Homes streetwear baby, you know.
Do you like it?
Um,
Do you like running in it?
No.
No.
Not really. I don't hate it.
Shouldn't have asked,
I
sorry.
don't hate it. But I mean, like, so what's enjoyment when you're running in it? Like, what do you think?
Well, funny enough, me and Oscar and I, did do our first run in it together.
We held hands.
And we had, varying opinions.
Cross streams.
We ran together and it proved one thing. Weight and foot strike definitely makes a shoe feel different. For me, I didn't mind it. I quite enjoyed when I was able to run the front 3/4 of the shoe, how responsive it was and how quickly it just popped me off to the next stride. And then obviously when I did a stride out as well, it softens up, it expands and gives you something more back, which I think is the benefit of that beaded PIVA. Like there's space between the beads
Cells,
and it will expand and soften and move in a way where your foot wants it to move. But yeah, you're right. Oska struggled to get over the shoe. It was a little bit bulky possibly and the cutouts maybe weren't in the right shape for everyone. But I think I said on the run that it's going to do great in a category for people that land a certain way or are a little bit heavier possibly and can move the foam through weight and foot strike.
And so you're thinking first or front third of the shoe, foot strike, or really heavy heel, like because you're going to you got 45 mil of
but it is like it is flat through the sole, like through the midfoot. Sorry,
the rock is real late.
It's like real late rocker.
Dead flat. I just think like we have to stop letting what the shoe looks like determine how the shoe functions. That's my gripe. As though, like, you can go in with a brief, but that's a casual shoe. If that's what you want it to be, I got no problem with that. But if you're going to advertise it to do this thing and you want it to do this, there are some things that you could do to the shoe that would make it a huge hitter in the category, and I think it falls short.
Well, that's
but I'm also
other
harsh
thing as well. I don't know exactly what Adidas have marketed it for.
Well, they wanted it to be their premium super trainer.
Okay.
So up against the Super Blast or Mega Blast.
Yeah, well, when Tom and I are going to record a Soulmates after this, which is going to pit it up against the Mega Blast. And I think it probably the feel of it does sit somewhere between Super Blast 2 and Mega Blast 1.
Yeah.
I think it's completely different from Super Blast 3 because of the resilience of the midsole material. How did you find the upper? Like the
I was intrigued to see how it felt because it doesn't look super breathable, and actually didn't have too many issues with the breathability of it, because they've gone for that more lifestyle look and kind of aesthetic. It is a bit harsher around the ankle joint, like they've used that cleaner so it doesn't. What's the word I'm looking for?
like pill up.
Yeah, it doesn't pill up. Like they want it to stay firm and look a certain way, which does make it a little bit harsh around like your medial and lateral ankle bone and joint through there. To be fair, don't notice it that much when I'm running in it. Like
I agree.
You notice it more when you're walking. I mean, I think it looks sick.
It looks
Like
wicked.
it looks awesome.
It looked great on Zinedine Zidane in a pair of jeans.
Yeah, it did. And it's cool that I've tried to blend lifestyle and performance. I do agree that a slight tweak of the rocker would make it feel more performance and you wouldn't sacrifice on lifestyle look. Like you bring the rocker back 20%, boom, that's like an Evo SL. It's going to roll you off the front more. You're still going to get all the benefit of the foam. It just won't be as comfortable to walk in. But it's not a walking shoe. So... That's my 2 cents.
I love the way that the pods inside the heel counter kind of held my ankle down. You're right, the firmness of the upper material just mean I struggled to get a little bit of lockdown in the front, and it sort of just gapped a little bit. I didn't notice it when I was running, more like you see when you're walking. The tongue definitely has enough padding so that you can get quite a firm lace. You don't get the lace bite, but it doesn't have that last lace hole, so you can't do a runner's lock lace. Like you can't lace it in tight and bring the firmer material around your ankle bone as much. I do like the way the upper feels in the forefoot. Like
Yeah.
it's nice and sort of flexible across the which I think you need when the shoe's going to be so stiff in the front.
Yeah.
I'm flaming. It's not far off being.
Yeah. It's a simple tweak, I think,
Yeah.
to make it what it's prescribed.
And I think this Hyper Boost Pro midsole material has real potential.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see it utilized in something like an Evo SL setup.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where it will excel.
Yeah.
If I'm Adidas, well, to be fair, we're privy to what Evo SL2 looks like.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we can talk about at all because I have not seen that even on Reddit.
Yeah.
So we won't do that to Dylan and Holly's first week. We'll get her fired. We won't do that to her. But yeah, I like the architecture of what Nike have done and what On have done, and around like the Monster for On and then the Vomero for Nike, and I think they had the potential to do the same thing with Evo, rather than just change the uppers and call them different shoes.
Yeah.
And so maybe I was a wee bit disappointed in that, but I definitely think there's a group of people that will like running in this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just wasn't really me.
Yep.
But I'm also not a fan of the category, so that's fine.
So don't take it to heart.
Don't take it to heart. I'm not saying it's a bad shoe. I just think they can do better, and I think it's like I'm okay to say that.
Yeah.
Because I want them to continue to develop. Like if you said this is perfect, and it's just not.
Yeah.
You know.
They'll be boring.
What's happening next week, Hannah? What have we got going on?
Tom's doing a training camp to Hamner.
Oh, here you are.
Yep.
The end of next week. We got some stuff before that though. We got Run Unknown,
Yeah, we do.
which is
Unknown.
so we can't say anything about it.
No, it's going to be a fun event on the Wednesday night.
Yeah, Wednesday night, 6 p.m. in an unknown location.
Yep.
60 people will meet up.
And venture around central Christchurch from clue to clue
Yeah.
for a
5K running race.
pretty cool prize pool as well.
Yeah, so we've got cash for first, second, and third.
Cash grab.
There'll also be demo fleets of On shoes, Volt, Hyper,
Strike.
and Strike.
And strike, hopefully, yeah. Yep.
Oh, dang. Where does On get their money from, man? They are printing Swiss francs. Is it Swiss francs?
I don't know, but
Swiss
keep
francs?
it coming, man. It's fun. We like doing fun stuff.
We like
So
doing fun stuff. We can't sell any
complaining.
shoes, but
yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
so and then people get a free T-shirt, and Hayden will be there with the camera.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and make this a series. So we'll see how it goes. And
What are you doing for Run Club on Tuesday night?
Tuesday night we're going to do hill reps. At the moment, almost every hill from Sumner to Dyers Pass Road has got roadworks on it. So
Perfect.
we are still going to meet at Princess Margaret at 6 p.m. for our warm up, but I think we're going to use one of the hills to the west of that, to the right of that, to maybe do some undulating intervals.
Nice.
Just because we don't want people running into roadworks, 'cause that's never a good idea, really.
No.
Other than those two things, shoe launches, I think we're pretty much everything has arrived now for March. There are some stuff into early April, including some light spray product.
Yeah,
So we'll keep people updated the best we can there.
that'll be sick.
Other than that,
Enjoy your training. If you're Christchurch marathoning, you're coming into the last 3 weeks. So
yeah, you are feeling the worst you will feel.
it's all up from here. Hopefully,
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 3 weeks to go.
Yep.
You will feel shit house.
What's it? Peak week they call it.
That was last week, I think. It was peak
Yeah.
week. So you've come over peak week. You started to pull some miles away. You haven't got the endorphins floating around. Your body's still sore.
Yep.
You're eating the volume thinking you might get fat if you don't run enough.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy every moment of that thing. Anything to add? Admin Anna? Just call it AA. That's what you are. Just call it AA.
I don't want to be Alcoholics Anonymous.
Or the insurance company.
Yeah. I don't think that's where people's mind goes, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I have got the Serenity prayer tatted on my arm, so
Is that from AA? Oh.
just to remind ourselves we're addicts to something.
Well, maybe unpack that later. Anyways, nothing really crazy out of the ordinary happening next week.
Cool. Tommy? Good luck on tomorrow morning, mate.
Thanks.
Please don't hurt yourself.
I'll try not to.
Really need you back at work on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll hurt my body for sure, but like externally,
Internally.
Yeah.
A lot of lactic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be like an over-chlorinated spa pool. Yeah,
You'll be drowning in it.
you will be.
Yep.
All right, eat your veggies.
Have a good weekend.